2012, Vice President of Operations in 2012 and currently, last year, and currently President of AIESEC in Hyderabad. Please welcome Megha Gajula.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To introduce myself, I am Megha Gajula, the current local committee president of AIESEC in Hyderabad, and I'm here to probably answer the biggest question in the room: why is the event themed on 21st century leadership? To answer that, let's answer a few more questions. In a report by UNESCO to the International Commission on Education, they said that there are 4 fundamental pillars: learning to do, learning to live together, learning to know, and learning to be. There's one thing that they all have in common. The one thing is that they all lived those 4 fundamentals. They all understood and defined those 4 fundamentals of lifelong learning. And the platform that they used, and the platform that was common to all of them, is AIESEC. So delivering these kind of experiences, AIESEC in Hyderabad as a local chapter has been present for 28 years and delivered 2,670 leadership experiences across the globe, and is one local committee. And AIESEC, having been present for 66 years, is doing this in 124 countries. With that, we would like to welcome you to the annual Stakeholder Summit, celebrating 28 years of AIESEC in Hyderabad and celebrating 66 years of this beautiful organization, with the vision that we strive towards is creating relevant experiential opportunities to build progressive individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Megha, for answering probably the greatest question of all. Today, among us, we have clients, partners, parents, alumni, and members, but also we have someone really special. He was an alumnus from the IIT and IIM. He worked for TCS, Deloitte, and PwC. He was associated with the World Bank as well. And recently, he served as the CEO for IntelliCap. Presently, he is the interim CEO for AgStream. I welcome Mr. Srikumar for his keynote. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. Most fundamental, quick and easy lesson about leadership is that there is no quick and easy lesson about leadership. There are guides, there are books, there are bestsellers, there are leadership workshops. There's a great many avenues and channels to inform ourselves on leadership. But in some ways, I think the challenge that all those avenues bring about is actually summed up by this little cartoon, which is that for many of us who are just starting on our careers, for many young people particularly, for many of us who just have a little diffidence about our own ability to deal with what the world is throwing at us, for many such people, all these techniques of teaching leadership, they give us checklists, they give us frameworks. But leadership has never been about checklists and frameworks. And one of the challenges of being too immersed in these checklists and frameworks is actually that those checklists start to become a substitute for thinking. And one of the thoughts I want to pass on this evening is that one of the markers of leadership is actually your ability to know when to break the rules. What does that mean for the rest of you? I think one of the things I want you to take away from this evening, and this is actually, I think, a very, very important segue to what I said before, that part of being a good leader is the willingness to take unpopular decisions. Why is that important for all of you, particularly for you, young AIESECers? The reason that's important is partly summed up in this graphic. This graphic is India's population pyramid. It shows the number of people, the bottommost row shows the number of people in the age group 0 to 5. The next group above shows the number of people in the age group 5 to 10. The next group above 10 to 15 and so on. But this is India's population pyramid. And as you can see, India has this population pyramid where younger people outnumber older people at every step of the population pyramid. Now, this is actually unique among big economies. The West European population pyramid is almost like a wine glass. They have more older people than young people. And that actually is why their social security schemes are, if their social security schemes were assessed actuarially, the way that a private life insurance company is assessed, every one of Western Europe's social security schemes today is bankrupt. Because they don't have enough young people to support the large numbers of older people that they're now producing. Every one of you is likely to have an opportunity to exercise some leadership. Because there are going to be more young people than there are slightly older people. And that is a frightening enough thought for people at my age. But for all of you 20-something-year-olds, I think you need to take on board as well. 21st century leadership is there. There are differences that we, I think, are well positioned. When I say we, I really mean you. You young folks are well positioned to take advantage of. And once again, I think what I would like to leave you with is the thought that you represent India's most precious resource today. Make the most of it. Thank you.
We have probably one of the most prestigious partners with us today, and on behalf of AIESEC in Hyderabad, we would like to invite Mr. Sri Kumar, the CEO and the Third Fellow of Boston Business School. With this, if I could have Mr. Sri Kumar on stage.
Good evening, everyone. When Manik and Megha came over to meet me a couple of days ago at the office, I asked them as to what the theme of the evening would be. They told me that it would be 21st century leadership. I think we'd all agree that for people of their age to put together an event of this sort, put together this evening, and also the work that they do with AIESEC is an apt demonstration of 21st century leadership in practice. My congratulations to AIESEC for all the work that they do and putting together a great evening here today. We look forward to supporting AIESEC in many more such events through 2014. And hopefully the next one will be on our campus. Thank you everyone and all the best AIESEC.
If I could have Mr. Sri Kumar on stage to launch the leadership partnership between AIESEC and Boston School of Business. So moving on, we're very lucky to have the current principal of NEXUS International School present with us. NEXUS International School has been a proud partner of AIESEC in Hyderabad and a firm believer of leadership. And I would like to welcome Mr. Omkar Joshi to speak to us about his leadership.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and AIESEC leaders. My name is Omkar Joshi. I am the principal of Indus International School, which is one of the 3 international schools set up by the Indus Trust. I am very happy to have been associated with AIESEC. If you don't bounce back, if children are not taught how to bounce back, the life looks like, it has come to an end. And sometimes we take the wrong path also. It happens with young people as well as old like me, who is 50 plus. If I do not have resilience, then one small disturbance in my life can unsettle me. On behalf of Indus, I would like to thank AIESEC and the organizers of this event for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share leadership philosophy of Indus. I am really indeed very, very happy for associating with AIESEC. I wish that this association grows. Every year we come here and be part of it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Next, we have someone from the alumni here. I have been part of that community for more than a year now. But today we have someone who was very important in building AIESEC Hyderabad in the formative years. She's an alumnus of London Business School. She has 18 years of professional and entrepreneur experience. She co-founded B2B software solutions and currently devises product strategy at NEXUS. I request Mrs. Samantha Reddy to please come up on stage.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank AIESEC and Megha for having me here today. I'm a bit overdressed for the occasion because I'm in between a family function, but couldn't pass up on this opportunity to come and say hello to AIESECers and their supporters today. So good evening. I think leadership is also about maintaining human connections. It's really about empathy. It's not the Twitter 150 words. Definitely not. So I'd just like to say thank you, and thank you Megha, thank you AIESEC Hyderabad. It's been an incredible journey for us, 28 years, and thank you for this inviting me here today.
Today we have one such person who's flown down from Morocco and is completely his first trip in India, and right now is working for Tata Consultancy Services and is here right now with us to share the experience. I welcome Mr. Akram to come down here and share the experience. Thank you.
Thank you. So, as you said, my name is Akram Bukhari. I'm from Morocco. As you know, Morocco is in North Africa. So this is my first experience with AIESEC. When I went to work and met my fellow workers, my fellow workers at the ACE program, the foreigners. So we created a certain bond between us, and this bond was like, I felt it not when I met them or when I spent time with them, but when the first one left the country, when his internship. Thank you, and please have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. So as we come to an end of our evening, I would like to welcome finally the Vice President of Business Development of AIESEC in Hyderabad to deliver the vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, Ani.
Good evening everyone. Thank you for being so patient. On behalf of AIESEC Hyderabad, I would like to propose the vote of thanks. Firstly, a big thank you to Mr. Sri Kumar for taking time out and giving a brilliant keynote speech. We are also thankful to Mr. Omkar Joshi, Mr. Sri Kumar Sanghiya, Mr. Samantha Reddy and Akram Bukhari for taking their time out and giving their 2 cents on 21st century leadership. NEXUS is what it is today because of its partners, and I would really like to thank Mr. Rajat from Boston School of Business for believing in this project and Mr. Sanghiya for supporting it as well. Mr. Bobby from Law Society, Mr. Rajiv Dulla from Capricorn, Mr. Sharad from Porteria, the good folks and Datta the University, and Mr. Devasish from AGS Movement for all believing in the power of NEXUS. I would like to thank Akash Jain and his team for working tirelessly for 140 days to make NEXUS as successful. We also extend gratitude. Lastly, thank you to each and everyone present here. It's been a delight to have you all, and we hope you have a lovely dinner. Thank you.
Thank you very much everyone for coming. We really love having you with us today.
Thank you so much. See you at NEXUS 2015, and we are very looking forward to have you then as well. Thank you so much for coming.